I'm going to momentarily get a vote up for you, so make sure you take a vote off in the top right. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up early. This one's a special for the Scorpio Risings, okay? We're going to go ahead and do it today. I do have some tarot cards. I'm going to rock with the Kabbalah. Give me a moment while I set up your questions. I feel like today this is a deep upload, download, a little bit of both, because the South Node is in Scorpio, all right? We know that. The South Node is in Scorpio. What does that mean? While the Moon is in Scorpio, that's the critical piece. The Moon, whenever it goes over a sign, all right, it highlights and helps you understand that particular energy. Helps you understand what about the South Node is rising from the surface or rising from the bottom of the depths of. Hey, no, that motherfucking dog is crossing boundaries. I'm telling you. Are you noticing your schnit? All right, rising. And I'm gonna say something like unconscious. No, this dog is annoying the hell out of me. He has no boundaries. Unconscious traumas rising. Are you feeling that? Because Scorpio is the sewer waters, right? My relationships. And when I say this, I want you to look at it like my relationships that are current as well as in the past. This can be exes, because we're getting ready to go through a Mercury in Libra Retrograde. So that's happening, okay? My relationships. I'm gonna say something like are falling apart. All right? And then I'm gonna say something like the last one. It's like, I don't F with people. And sometimes we just gotta keep it that simple, right? So this is what I'm asking the community. For my Scorpio Rising, this is a live relationship message. Why? Because everybody knows that Scorpio Risings, you know, what you want more than anything else, and I say this as myself, is the relationship, right? It is a relationship that can undergo the rough, undergo the stuck, undergo the natural traumas that are involved in a relationship. And on a Scorpio moon, while it's crossing over the South Node, you're not gonna wanna I almost wish I put Scorpio moon transit, because this has a lot to do with the moon. The moon in Scorpio is aligning with the South Node in Scorpio. Now, why I find this is so important is this is a pre-eclipse event. This is pre-Scorpio eclipse, okay? When we recognize that, as I drop my email list, I want y'all to check it out. Getting more active on there, me and my partner, all right? As you start recognizing that this is coming up on the Scorpio eclipse, you're gonna realize this is your early foreseeable future of what will the eclipse look like. And I'll be honest, it's one of the things that it scares me. I'm not gonna lie to you. We had our last eclipse in May, all right? We had our last eclipse in May of 2022. We're gonna have another one coming up. The next eclipse is, it's either October or November. I forget which one. I have a feeling it has to be 6 months, right? So we have the full moon coming from May. 5 plus 6 is 11, so it's in November. The new moon in Scorpio should be in November, okay? Now here is why that is game changer. While Aries is in Jupiter, right? This is one of the key things. While Aries is in Jupiter, Chiron is also in Jupiter. Okay, so what's going on there? Well, what's happening with that is the fact that Mercury in Libra is at 5 degrees right now as we speak. I thank you for that thumbs up. I saw you in the like column. While Chiron is in Jupiter, I had to update my live a little bit. I had to update it a little bit. I had to add the new tech because I had to realize this is where you have to watch out for demon hour. Okay? When I say demon hour, what I'm saying is demon hour in this instance is the hour that the moon goes over 18 degrees is the moment that it goes over Uranus and Taurus. And that will be the moment that, honestly, I wish it was happening in our sleep. But I don't think that it is. I wish I was in a time zone where it was going over in my sleep. And I'd rather just deal with that in dreamland. Deal with that in the astral realm, 8th house, Scorpio. I wish I could. To be honest, I might even luck out. Maybe my wish comes true. Maybe I'm going to wish something different because at 11 o'clock p.m. tonight, it'll be 18 degrees to moon. Going 18 over Taurus. So that basically means what? It's gonna, for me, I'm gonna be sleeping. By 11, I hope to be sleeping. So that means that, no, I'm lying. 21 is 9 o'clock tonight. My bad. Scratch that. At 9 o'clock tonight, it'll go. Which means that even as it approaches, to be honest, a lot of us have been feeling it for a couple of days now since the moon first hit, because the moon in Scorpio is very much a fortune teller. All right, for my Scorpio risings out there, y'all know this, you and your identity, your rising can tell the ability of learning how to invest your energy properly with others. And that's what's critical. As you learn how to better invest your energy with others, you're going to realize how important the boundaries that are being asked of us back in Virgo to take care of our personal health that gets purified and a sense and reinforced with masculine energy in Libra. The reason but now it comes to the full death, right? In Scorpio. The full death happens in Scorpio after the purification, after the masculine purification in Libra. So our relationship dynamics are going through. Why? Because Chiron is in Aries and is axing us very clearly while Jupiter is going back as well. All right, Chiron is in Aries, but is at 15. Okay, so until Mercury in Libra hits 15 degrees, this is kind of me also giving you the heads up, the warning, the forecoming. But it's mostly approaching what? On the retrograde of Jupiter in Aries. Okay, what are we saying? We've already expanded this part of our identity, this part of our personality, this part of our courage, our boldness, and our ability to just say no, raw, with primitive behavior, primitive reaction, to say yes and speak up. All right. If I look at this and what house it's in the first house right now, at least where I'm at in Guadalajara, Mexico. So what is that saying? This is especially important right now with your, I'm going to say your pets, with 6 houses there, but also your coworkers, the people you're living with, the people you're working with on a daily. These are the people that you're going to have the hard square coming in. I think right now Mercury is at 6 degrees, so you're recognizing it, like in partnerships, you're recognizing what data is being analyzed. Essentially, that's what's happening. You're starting to look at the lack of boundaries in your relationships from a more analytical mind, from a mind that's just saying, look, this is just the facts. Like, I don't really care what I feel like. I really don't care what I feel like. Right now, I'm just looking at things very raw. I'm looking at things very clearly, because the moon in Scorpio presents that perceptivity that can go beyond what physical data can present. Now, Mercury in Libra is able to still analyze what is physically there in data. Wow, again, another analytical sign. We're in Virgo season, let's be real, okay? Virgo is now understanding and taking a very critical look, a very judgmental look. And I say judgment on purpose. As you actually hit this thumbs up, Virgo is taking our awareness and saying, look, take an intentional moment to judge this. Recognize that judgment is not good or bad. Recognize that, I see with the thumbs up, I thank you for that. Recognize that judgment is the step beyond becoming aware and noticing something that needs to get purged in your life. And that's everything that the moon in Scorpio is about right now. That is everything that the moon in Scorpio is about right now. It's like Scorpio was just going to be the point where it finally hits death. It hits rock bottom. So in your relationship dynamics, this is relationship trauma, honestly, for everybody. But for Scorpio rising, it's happening in Libra in the 12th house. 12th house is where I as a Scorpio rising, I'm being forced to surrender You know, what ways did I handle relationship dynamics? In what ways do I handle being, you know, political in relationships? In what ways does policy actually hold me back? What ways is it just an outdated belief at this point in time? And that's what Virgo at the 9th degree in the sun is asking of us, because why? We didn't even get to talk about Gemini Mars. And it's squaring that energy, of course, with who? Your partnerships. With who? The people you're in business with. With who? Your clientele. With who? Any single person you have a one-on-one interaction with. And the fact that the moon just went by Libra, we're talking divine justice. So for me today, that's very clear on this shirt. Like, I had to come up and pull up with this shirt on today, because it's like these instances on divine justice, I'm feeling it on the collective pain. Quite frankly, Libra going through the balance beam, it's like, damn, like, let's get fucking real at a certain point. Like, sometimes it's really annoying to be black. That is annoying to even say out loud as a black man. Sometimes it just gets fucking annoying. It's like, god damn, you know, like, I'm 31 years on this planet, and no matter what, no matter how much the world progresses, this shit is still fucking racist. Unconscious, conscious, it's just fucking annoying. Like, at a certain point, even today, to a point where I got a guy living here in Mexico, and I'm in the most remote of places. I'm in the most remote of places. And I say all of this with a very judgmental lens, in a sense, on purpose. Not critical. And I had to learn really the difference. There's awareness, there's judgment, and then there's the criticism. I'm aware of it. Okay, I've been aware of it. Now, this is just what South Node and Scorpio is rising for me, as I'm a Scorpio rising. Okay, so what is my dirt? What is my trauma? Some of this is just going through being an actual human, okay, spirit and human body that has undergone police brutality because my skin is black. Not because of all the lifetimes that I lived. Not because of the wisdom that I've understood throughout, again, various past lives and more. Just because in this particular lifetime I happen to be black. It gets fucking annoying to have to continuously explain shit to people, and to sit there and act like, you know, I'm not somebody's fucking entertainment system just because I'm black. It's like, how many times, what kind of tricks can I do? Can I really jump high like they say so? You know what I'm saying? It's like, does he really have sex? Like right now, like black men becomes a target. You feel me? Black men becomes a target. Why? To the whole fucking world. Why? Because motherfuckers just curious. Is it like the legends say? Is it like the myth? Is it like what I heard from my girlfriend? Is it like what they don't want us to touch? Is it worth all of that? So even from a sexual standpoint, it's like, understand, like, you know, women will look at themselves and sometimes, quite frankly, be all so high and mighty that it's almost like they exclude the fact that a black male or any male can get that same sense of sexual harassment when they walk through the streets. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you sitting there as a woman and you don't want to be objectified, then we must all in these moments begin to speak up to those that are objectifying all races and all fucking genders. And I'm saying that right now as a black male. I get fucking eye raped no different than a lot of you mother lovers. Honestly. And it's like, that's why groups like Aquarius, the hard square with Aquarius is happening, right now at 20 degrees, I believe. Yeah, at 20 degrees. So again, us as a collective having to be more disciplined, us as a collective having to recognize these psychological transformations that the people are going through, right? Why? Because what's happening? Neptune in Pisces in the 12th house, which is doing and saying an accent of what? For us to surrender. Because at 24 degrees, so asking and saying and doing what? It's asking for full surrender. Eventually, when Mercury hit in Virgo, 24 degrees, we had that first glimpse of reality, while Mars is in Gemini, I think, at 4. So now we're talking ancestors. Now we're talking ancestral pains rising from Scorpio in the South Node, while the moon is in Scorpio. Do you know what it feels like for me to multiple times in my life have to have the type of discussion, either with parents or even a significant other that I'm dating, to have to say something like, yo, the ancestors inside of my head are screaming that they want retribution. They want to take you for everything you got. Do you know what that feels like? To be a spirit in this body. A spirit who recognizes very clearly like that these are boundaries and borders that have to come down. But yet instill a spirit, because of my understanding and my ability to communicate these things, I am always and consistently forced to fucking talk about these things. To stand up in a way that somebody who's just in the lower degrees of astrology, who chose to live those lives of lower degrees, which ain't a disrespect, right? We all choose our own astrology charts. You choose the life that you want to live, so it's not even a disrespect. It's what you knew you needed to come back because of whatever the dirt, the shame, the stupidity you've done in your last lives, right? Needing to go through younger experiences. So what I'm saying in the moment is like, do you understand what it feels like? This is how we go in opposition fully to Venus and Gemini. To Venus and Leo. Because Leo is like, Leo and Aries both, they're going to stick up for the small guys. And the small guys is a lot of people depending on what the situation and the scenario presents. The small guy is not the person you often think it is. The small guy could be the biggest guy in the room talking that smack. And the small guy or small girl, call it what you want, could be the same guy that or same girl that's sitting in a corner being quiet, saying nothing, and just watching and observing. So for me, this is a little bit of what that South Node as a Scorpio Rising has been. It's like, look, I've lived the actual life of a black man. And it's fucking annoying to have to be treated like a black man. Like, it's just annoying. Like whether it hits the fucking global news or whether it leaves the global news, at the end of the day, I sit in black skin. And in all sincerity, I'm so sick of people and what people fucking bitch and moan about sometimes. Sometimes the things that people, like, in all sincerity, this is why, like, you know, I had to state this clear for myself a long time ago. When you come to do services with me, if you come to get an astrology therapy and a fucking, you know, synthesis of your entire chart, if you come to work in one of my groups, I tell you very clear up front, it's like, honestly, don't come to me thinking that I'm going to hold your hand on some bitch assness. I'm not down with it, yo. I'm not down with it. And you know, I'm in this point where it's like Libra in the 12th house, Mercury and Libra in the 12th house. Mercury in Libra is affecting Scorpio Rising specifically in the 12th house. So it's like everybody with a Scorpio placement, it's like I'm being forced no matter what to just address things very unconditionally. Anybody who has Scorpio placements, that's the area of my life where I'm just being asked in all Scorpio Risings. While Libra season is coming on us, the sun will be in Libra. Currently, Mercury is in Libra, and we're going to go retrograde in it. So it ain't really all that bad in all sincerity. It's just making sure we cross our T's and dot our I's on a mental status of like, who's getting out, who's staying in and who's getting out. Who we dealing with on a daily that's going to stay, and who we dealing with on a daily that's just like, look, like, we went through this and we actually cleaned it up. We cleaned up all the things that need to get cleaned up. You checking with your relationship dynamics, checking with your lovers, you checking with your coworkers, and you're like, look, great, during this retrograde and Mercury Libra retrograde, you either cleaned it up and it's like, good job. You know, now you said, look, I don't really rock with this. Like, you at work with a client and you're like, look, don't touch my yogurt, and the client just doesn't touch your yogurt and they may respect the boundary. It's like, great, they stay. Or it's like the client or, you know, the coworker touches your yogurt in the fridge and you're like, look, that was my lunch. Like, you just took my only lunch that I planned on having today, and they ate it anyway. They crossed your boundary. Then they got to die. They need to die. You know, if there's anything I've been reminded of recently when it comes to shamanism, it's that everything dies. It's the law of impermanence. And that's what Scorpio Moon is doing today as it goes over, especially for Scorpio Risings. But for Scorpio Moon, this is what it's doing as it goes over the South Node. It's showing you what has already died and is making sure you covered your tracks, okay? And the fact that it's going to go exact opposition to Uranus and Taurus, all of this stuff is less personal, to be honest. And most of this stuff that's happening right now is karmic, actually, and collective. Most of this stuff is karmic and it's collective, right? Why? Because Uranus is a karmic planet. It's a karmic planet with a collective duty to innovate and help us to rapidly transcend to our more futuristic versions of ourselves, and to do so and get there in the most unconventional of ways, which means that no matter what, each of us will be very uncomfortable in these couple days. What's up, Anthony? How you doing? Most of us will be very, very uncomfortable in these days leading up to it. They gotta go. Penis envy. Wow, I never even heard of that before. Shout out to you. Never heard that. Virgo is the criticism. I'm trying to figure out when we will get a clue that is their undertone of hatred of organic beings. Yo, so Secret, thank you for bringing me back, because this is kind of like a fan favorite video right now, and I really want to in many ways keep this personal to me, so I thank you for bringing it back. On some real shit, it was the penis envy, right? To be honest, I never even thought about that. I literally never even thought about it, but as you say it, it is one more step of the annoyance. It's one of the things that I've learned, that even French women in France or Africa have to go through on the opposite end, because a lot of times they got caught in that and they chased their envy, okay, with black men coming from Africa. And this is in real life, right? Like, I live in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sitting here and I'm out in Germany. I'm sitting here and I'm out in Thailand. I'm sitting here and I'm out in Mexico right now. So let's be real, like, I'm sitting here and I'm living out in the world. Thank you for your donation, whoever you were. I don't know who donated, but I appreciate it. I can't see your name in the moment, but it's like, thank you. Thank you to the person donated. I got my messages mixed up, you know, and I thank you for the likes and the thumbs up in the meanwhile, right? I just sent the email out last Sunday, another one come out with this Sunday. But I really want to address Secrets and what she just said, right? And here's the hardest part. Right? The moment that I became aware that the unconscious racism was even a term, which only really happened, in all sincerity, in 2020, was the moment that my life definitely cranked up a lot. Definitely became a lot more annoying, to be honest, in some ways, where it was the exact moment that I no longer can embrace that ignorance is bliss. Okay? And I say that like I had to leave the ignorance is bliss as a black man. I had to leave the ignorance. And I had to basically sacrifice the bliss. I had to sacrifice the joy. I had to sacrifice playing in certain moments and even playing with certain people in certain ways. And I'm talking about like being a black male growing up, where I played lacrosse and everybody in the Northeast coast that plays lacrosse is white. Do you know what it's like to get on a bus in my fucking lifetime? All right, this is not a fucking movie. Y'all need to stop fucking acting like it's a movie. In my fucking lifetime, to get on a bus, and as I pull up to a school in high school, they're chanting, "Go home, niggas, go." They don't even say with an A, my bad, niggers. Go home, niggers, go home. Go home, niggers, go home. Go home, niggers, go home. Do you know what it feels like when I'm sitting on that same bus with half the kids black and half the kids white? Do you fucking understand that my entire life has been that fucking narrative? To even in Mexico today, to have a Mexican citizen who's been living in the US for 18 years want to sit there and compliment me on my gear, compliment me on my haircut, and in reality all he cares about is inclusion. He wants to feel like he fits in. He wants to feel in that moment that he belongs. And so to do so, he over-explicate the fact that him and I are cool. That we're cool. And as I sit there and entertain the fact that, oh, we're cool, and I start talking about real shit, the facade of him just begins to fall off. And I was like, oh yeah, great, you want to support? I'm a black astrologer. Hey, matter of fact, let me put you on game. As we begin to talk about the inflation happening in the US, a Mexican citizen here. And I start putting him on game. But no, when we get too deep into what the fuck is going on, and when he has to start moving the fucking facade, he has to take the mask off. By the time that conversation ended, he very quickly just succumbed to the pressure and subscribed to my YouTube channel, when in reality he didn't fuck with me, but just to get me out of his face so that he didn't have to keep seeing the truth, which was really unraveling that inclusion really is a drug. And he wanted to be included, understanding he's from Indianapolis, where it's so close to where the protests were happening in Wisconsin. The energy and the vibration was so high that it became a drug to include yourself and make sure that you want to go through and understand what it means to be black. Yo. I swear to God, sometimes I wonder. I came to the conclusion earlier today, and this happens all the time in my life. I'm not going to lie to you, and that's why I had to make this dedicated specifically to Scorpio Risings, because I knew y'all were going to get it. Scorpio and Venuses, I know y'all going to get it. Scorpio Moons, I know you're going to get it. It almost wouldn't even matter as much as your shade. You're going to get it because you can see the truth. Do you know how painful it is at times to see the full truth? And we don't even have the ability to sit there and pretend we didn't? That shit sucks. This is what the Scorpio moon feels like going over the South Node. The fact that the moon is going over the South Node and now it's aligning with 18 degrees in Uranus, we are literally being rapidly called to bring up our dirt, which might in that instance be white kids on a bus fucking, go home niggers, go home. In my lifetime, to have my own white coach, who I actually respected as a father figure, really, as a father figure, starts foaming at the mouth. Roll the fucking windows up. My white coach. Roll the fucking windows up. Oh shit, all the kids on the bus, we're in high school. He just foaming. He like paused. He was so angry he didn't even know what to do. He didn't even know how to act. He barely even knew what to say, so he just let the passion run through his fucking body. He let it surge. He let it come through. He's like, don't listen to that shit. This is my coach, my white coach, in the same way we ride into the bus. Go home, niggas, go home. I want you to fucking feel that shit for a moment. And notice the tears that start to come behind your eyes as you start to resonate with the rhythm. You start feeling the vibration and the energy that was pumped into me all my fucking life. And then I gotta have other motherfuckers come to me when the pressure gets too deep and you want to start talking about some shit. And then that unconscious racism sets in. It's like, quick, let me tell a story about a shitty time in my life. Nothing to do with your life, just because the black talk has become too uncomfortable. It's become too uncomfortable. I realize now as you talk, I don't understand what the fuck you're talking about. Because I didn't live that in my real life. I only read about it in books. I only saw that shit in documentaries. So let me just switch the topic real quick. Let me talk about a fucking problem happening in my life, and let's detour this shit because it's too intense over here. I swear to God, each and every one of you that resonate with that last part of the message, you can suck my dick. Sideways. Talk about penis envy. Suck that shit sideways. Sideways. I really don't give a fuck. I'm going to tell you right now, because it's getting real cutthroat in my own personal life. If you fuck with the mission, then fuck with it. And if you don't, exit stage left. If you don't, exit stage left. Don't waste my time. Don't waste my energy. I don't even want to sit there and waste a thought on you. If you vibing with the message, if you vibing with the mission, if you vibing with the direction, awesome. I rock with you heavy. And if you did into a point, but you don't anymore, that is also okay. All I ask of you is to take your exit, take your leave. Don't bother me, and don't bother the people who are continuously rocking and vibing with the message. And I say this to say, like, understand this, right? I am still in a human body no matter what. I get hit with transits like a Scorpio moon, like everybody else. Like everybody else. I get hit with pain, trauma, freaking debt, freaking envy, freaking all the same things that you do not enjoy. I get hit with all of them the same. The reason I say that and I point that out is to bring out a quick and a brief reminder that I'm talking about my own life. I'm talking about my own life, my own stories, right? Bringing up my own vulnerabilities. Partially because of the way my placements are set up, I'm forced to do it and I have to surrender to this on some real. So, I mean, that is what it is. That's partial. Another partial because I had to remember something by watching that show, The Sandman. I watched the show, The Sandman, and he reminded me that, dang, I gotta urinate. He reminded me that him as an endless, in those ranks of like the beings, like he controlled dreams, and then another one controlled envy, and another one controlled desire, and another one controlled death, right? The angel of death. Another one controlled, despair, and another one controlled, I forget, destruction. So these are endless things that will never go away. And the dream was like he had to go through after living, freaking eons and eons and eons and eons and eons. Well, he got more and more contact with humans at a point, right? After death showed him, the angel of death showed Dream, okay, in the endless, she showed him that his job is going to be his job. His duty is going to be his duty, all right? So your duty, my duty is going to be our duties. So right now, for me in the instance, is like part of this is my duty and part of this is my freedom, my emotional autonomy, all right, my emotional expression. But part of it as well is part of my duty. Whereas like at the end of the day, I have the voice. I have the ability to be adaptable enough to talk about supremely tough and difficult topics of discussion. Shit that nobody want to talk about, which is why we're still here. Okay? Which is why we're still in the gutter. And so the reason I bring all of that up is this is South Node crossing over. The moon and Scorpio right now crossing over. While we have Uranus and Taurus. You and myself included. I can't get closer to, racial freedom, which is what I really want to call it right now. I can't get closer to racial freedom without addressing what is already uncomfortable. Without having to take a moment and a time to say, look, you know what? Let me share this story that I have not shared very often about a high school experience. That's just one experience. We're not even talking about the shootouts, okay? Because we're not even talking about dead bodies on the floor. We're not talking about watching people gush out and the light from their eyes go away. We're not even talking about that. I'm just talking about high school. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about high school. I'm just talking about high school. We're not talking about in grade school when I'm getting transported on a bus and I'm on the bus where we got Confederate flags on the fucking bus. Are you shitting me? Do you know what it feels like to be in middle school and leave middle school and the first thing you have on day one is you have a Confederate flag on a short bus? Not even a fucking long bus, a short bus, so that I can get a better education, so that I can get out of the neighborhood that I'm in, so that I can have my own parents basically sit there and supply and support me in a way to get me to what's supposed to be a better school, a fucking outstanding school, a fucking white school, quite frankly, which is what it was, fucking crackhead, racist ass motherfucking school, okay? Well, I'm sitting there fucking having to run from people on a daily, when I'm sitting there having to have screwdrivers in my hand, threatening other motherfuckers trying to throw me in water and baths, I'm gonna have to stab them, okay? Do you understand what that feels like? Do you understand what it means to grow up in my skin? So I say all this to say, don't ever fucking try to include me with your drug. Do not look at me as your drug of inclusion. Do not look at me as your drug of like, oh, I support black people, you know, fuck it, whatever, black power. Oh, hey, look, I like your haircut. Oh, hey, look, I like your shirt. And then when I start talking some real shit, you want to fucking turn the volume back down. Get the fuck out of my face. Listen, I got a peep. Give me a moment. We're gonna fuck this up. Fuck this up. I'm from Connecticut. Connecticut, one of the first 13 colonies. Do you understand how thick racism is to be in one of the first 13 motherfucking settled colonies of the U.S.? Plymouth Rock is 20 minutes from my house. Are you understanding the words that are coming out of my mouth? Don't ever get it twisted. No matter how long you've been in this channel, or how long you not have been on this channel, don't ever get it twisted. That I educated myself and I had to go ahead and get it done to be able to speak properly, quote unquote, to be able to speak and polish my shit up over time. But let's not ever get it twisted. I'll twist your neck up. 1 second, I gotta urinate. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Thank you for waiting. The Confederate flag was really the flag of the Iroquois Confederation of Nations, the organic people that rose from these waters. I love hearing that, to be honest. Thank you, Secret. Always bringing in the secret information. That really made me happy. The Confederate flag was originally the flag of the Iroquois Confederation of Nations. Is the Iroquois, forgive me because I think I remember, but I'm not positive. Is the Iroquois one of the original Indians that landed? Please let me know. Because if so, then there's a part of that makes me happy, because that means, again, that we can go ahead and bring it back. What's up, Jamie? Echoist. I'm about to give y'all the next leg of this message, because I came out here to talk today. Libra, Cancer, Scorpio. Uranus, coach. Yeah, yo. So I'm gonna tell you the rest of the story. I'm gonna tell you how the rest of the story went in high school. Twisting the narrative to make it appear need to be a fear. Yo, what? Man, I tell you, it's the same shit. Even no matter where I go in the world. I'm walking today, and guess what? You got the next woman, same thing, clutching her purse. I'm like, woman, like out of all the places that I'm at, I'm just walking. And mind you, like I'm walking and I'm already in a mood where I don't even really want to talk to nobody. I don't even want to be bothered. I sat there, I put my shades on, and I went my own way, and I walked my own pace on purpose. And I still, no matter where I'm at, got women clutching their purse like I'm gonna rob them. And I can get that can happen from anybody, but it's like, yo, come on. Black people are such kind people. Like, let's be real. In all sincerity, this is the most annoying part. Is like, black people are the greatest people in the world. We're so fucking kind. Honestly, black people are so compassionate. Honestly, we're so loving. Honestly, we're so cool. Honestly, we're so stylish. Honestly, we're so lovely. Honestly, because I have this much melanin in my skin, I have so much connection to Mother Earth on the natural. Just the amount of melanin, the darker that I am, the more melanin I have. Melanin is more than just your skin color. It's your ability to connect to spirit. It's your ability to connect to source energy. It's your ability to connect to cosmic consciousness, to Mother Earth itself, Mother Gaia. So all this shit that people parading around to be like this spiritual loving light guru, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. It's like, how much shit will you continue to steal? And then you're going to reverse around, put it around and say, look, this is my intellectual property, or yada, yada, yada. And you're going to pull the legal route. Are you kidding me? Who, like, Oh. And you know, these are always the hardest messages, right? Because it's like, hola. These are always the hardest messages, right? Because it's like, when it comes down to it, nobody really wants to have to be on the other end, or like recognize that, look, I was born in this skin, and this, let's just say this skin happens to be white, right? It's not even one of those things where it's like, look, it's your fault. That's not what I'm saying by any means, shape, or form. What I'm saying is like, one, recognize that you chose to live in that skin. You chose to come back and reincarnate in that skin for a reason. And usually, more oftentimes than not, that reason is you already have owned slaves in a past life. You have already shat on dark people, dark-skinned people, people with melanated beings. You've already shat on them at some point in life. And so you chose to come back this way. You chose to have to listen to this rhetoric. You chose to have to listen to this jargon. Like, let's be real. I'm being mean, but I'm gonna make dinner. Get you some, yeah. Mira, hola, se ve muy rico, ¿puedo tener algo?
Sí.
Gracias. Bueno. ¿Todo bien?
Sí.
Gracias. Wow, I just got some grapes. This is maravillosa. Wow, that's awesome. That's so kind. Muy amable, gracias. I'm so happy I just got some grapes. What's up, Jazz? Alright, look. Yes, no. We're here already when others arrived. Yeah. They brought groups of slaves with them from the Caribbean. Yep, that's true, because the Caribbean then split apart. It went up to the north, but then also came down to the port of Cartagena in Colombia, which eventually became, you know, the Portuguese then went from there, from the port of Cartagena in Colombia, to then go into Brazil, which became where Brazil speaking Portuguese. So this is what I mean about being in the world. I lived in Colombia for a year and a half, and while I'm there, you know, it wasn't until I really went to Cartagena where it's like, we want to really start talking black culture. We want to start talking black lives and what has slavery been like from the Caribbeans, like Secret just mentioned, coming into the port, and how does it still live? Because, you know, in a way, they're not the U.S., right? Cartagena, Colombia is not the U.S. It's not the actual United States. So they didn't care to hide the racism. They didn't care to hide the systemic brutality. Do you understand what that means? Systemic brutality. In all sincerity, if none of you on this live have never had a policeman's knee in the back of your neck pinned down with a taser in your back, after, okay, let's rewind, walking up to the police officer like this, scared out of my fucking pants, to walk up on a police officer with black gloves on, his windows all the way up, and then to have to just wave at him through the window, when in reality, I need immediate assistance after my boy just got thrown downstairs by the owners. Just because me being in my black skin went into the wrong neighborhood and I did not know. I can't even walk into a bar. Are you kidding me? And I'm not talking about a little flight of stairs. I'm talking like 40 stairs. This jump was wild. It was wild. For me to have to be at this point in time in my life where I'm like, I'm trying to change. I'm trying to flip a leaf. Where the original me wanted to just sit there and just start brawling, just wanted to start throwing haymakers and come out unscathed. But I was like, look, I gotta, way before my spiritual journey, I had to make a switch, I had to turn around somewhere, right? Like, and it was like my 24th birthday. That was the big turnaround. When I turned 24, I was like, yo, I gotta get it together. Because I started realizing that Saturn in Aquarius exists, okay? There's rules, there's discipline, right? And I don't even want to say Saturn Aquarius because I don't know if it was an Aquarius at that time, but that Saturn existed. The Saturn made me get in check, okay? So walk up to the police officer and say, officer, I would like to report a crime. He ignores me. Got it. It's better than dying. That's the thought. So I ask again, officer, I would like to report a crime. He looks out the window. He looks back at his fucking steering wheel or his phone. I don't know. Officer, I would like to report a crime. Finally cracks the window. What? Officer, I would like to report a crime. Why do I have to ask 4 times to report a crime? Let's just start there. Why do I have to nearly piss my pants to ask somebody this? Why do I feel more comfortable as a black man to have just went ahead and started banging with that bouncer who was way out of pocket? Way the fuck out of pocket. Why? Throw my people. Do you know what it feels? I'm an Aries. Okay, let's be honest. I'm an Aries. We love we love that war. We love it. I had to realize after traveling the world that a lot of people have not been into fights, but let's be honest, and I'm going to be honest, I'm not that guy. I know very well how it feels and what it feels like and why I don't want to sit there and punch nobody in their face. I know why I don't want to do it. From real life experience. This ain't a book. This ain't a book. To have that look like flipping the leaf. And then the next 15 seconds to a minute and a half, next thing you know, I got cameras in my face. Like a wild zoo animal with my face on the pavement. And that same police officer with his knee in the back of my neck. And the next police officer with a taser in the back of my back. What the fuck did I do ever to deserve at any point in my life to be treated like that? This is South Node in Scorpio. And the moon going over. These are these eclipses coming in this year. The Scorpio eclipse, the first one that happened back in May. This shit will rise. Do you know what it feels like? Now, I mention these things from a personal standpoint because many of you who listen to this might think, damn, all the time I watch P, all the time I watch Pernell, I can't believe that that's what's happening to a dude like this. This is an outstanding dude. And I'm calling myself this shit. This is an outstanding dude. This dude, he do right by so many people. I do right by so many people. If anything, I do better by people than they ever deserved. So now Scorpio in Virgo season, Virgo's now Scorpio Rising, Virgo's running through our 11th house. Virgo's running through our 11th house. So when I come across a guy who wants to be a part of the drug called inclusion, to start commenting me on my gear, this shirt, to start commenting on my haircut that I did myself. I didn't go to no barber. I cut my hair. Actually, I had the help of Eileen on the back. You feel me? So then when I start getting into the fact that, oh yeah, bro, I'm a black astrologer. Ooh. Earlier today, I had another conversation with another black dude, matter of fact. Asking me, where should I go? Where should I live in the world? Yada, 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 yada. I'm like, yo, put him on game, right? Yo, check out astrocartography. I looked at it. I looked at all the countries in the world. 13 plus, 15 plus countries in the world that I lived in. I'm telling you, these shits are accurate. My real life experience. And because of the message, I'm going to say, as a black man, one of the most underrated and unknown things of a black person to know how to do. Travel the world. And I'm doing astrology? Are you fucking kidding me? Let's be real. This is one of those messages where it's like, look, Scorpio Rising, what I'm getting for you right now is like, we're in the 12th house with Mercury in Libra. It's like, throw your own fucking flags up, right? And I'm doing it right now. Throw your own flowers up. I throw myself my own flowers. Right now, I'm throwing myself my own grapes by asking for them. Because before I got this message, I had got Jupiter and Leo in the 12th house. It's like, this is me surrendering to the fact that in past lives, I was royalty. Above and beyond royalty, above and beyond just a king. Merlin shit. Separate from the kings. It's like, no, look, I'm your magical advisor. But I don't respond to you. Merlin. You never seen a black Merlin, have you? You ain't never seen no black Merlin. I'm right here. Hasta la muerte. Did someone miss the memo about the Catholic Church? You hear the Catholic Church in the background, you hear the bells ringing. Not being particular for blacks. All these Catholic black people are saying they were raised Catholic. Yeah, it's weird. It's really weird. I watched a show the other day, and they were Red Paladins, the Red Crusaders. And they put a black guy in there, and I was like, yo, get the fuck out of here. Like, there was no black guy in the goddamn Red Paladins crusading with the church. Okay? Fuck no. He didn't even look right in the show. He was the one guy that looked awkward in the group. He knew himself. He was like, I'm doing something for the money right now, for the fame, for the clout. But I don't belong here. I know that. I'm going against my own morals. It was weird. It was super weird with the Crusader. We're talking middle age. I'm like, bro, ain't no black people up in the English Crusader. No, Rome, my bad. Rome. In the fucking Roman Crusader group. Are you kidding me? But inclusion. Because it looks cool. It looks hot. Because if it's not a black guy in there, then it's like, you know, we're not focusing on equality. So let's just put him in there. The token black guy. Do you understand what it feels like to be the token black guy everywhere I go? Just because of my intelligence. Just because of my swagger. Just because of my demeanor and the way that I treat and handle people in life. I'm considered the exception. I swear to God, I would love to just smack a couple people. I know in reality it's like it won't make me feel better, but you know what? I'm almost willing for the momentary satisfaction to just slap the next motherfucker who comes at me with some inclusion bullshit. Wanted to give you a Superman emoji. How about them apples? FTS. I don't know what FTS means. Oh, off with their heads? No. The fear of off with their heads all day. Okay. Is that what that stands for? The illusion of inclusion. Yeah. It's getting sickening. I promise you, like, and the thing is, I'm not even in the US, you know, and I did take a month in the US, I think like a month ago, and I was really able to see it that much more, right? I was in Miami and Orlando, and I got reintroduced. It was like unconscious racism was like, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is right here. I'm here for the long run. Yo, they hit me hard, yo. They hit me real hard, and now it's like it's almost been like reactivated in my blood, reactivated in my system, and it's like, I swear to God, I know God got a plan for me on this. In all sincerity, it's like part of me can see it, and part of me is like can't see it, and part of me like does see it, but I don't really want to fully see it. And I really feel like part of it is gonna have to be like, you know, today feels for me like more like a vent message, like me sitting here, coming on here and venting. But there's another part that feels like I'm gonna have to come around and do this talk no matter what, on a more consistent base, with less of a personal outlook, because I'm talking more personal today. But I'm also talking more personal because it's fucking annoying to have to talk to people so impersonal and educate over and over and over all my life. You know, and I tell you, you know, one of the things that's coming up, and this is really important, is like sex, right? It's when you have sex with anybody and that penis touches the back of that female's wall, that is exactly the moment that past lives will get activated inside of the woman. Doesn't matter if she's black or white. When you have interracial sex, this is one of the things where Saturn in Aquarius actually, like, it's become like a duty for the Scorpio and Pluto and Scorpio era. All right. So Pluto and Libra, they open it up. They start opening up relationships with, you know, whatever it is, trans, lesbians, gays, you know, fucking, even not atheists. What's that shit called? Asexual not having sex at all, not having to have sex with your marriage partner just because they were married with you. You feel me? So that was Pluto in Libra, but Pluto in Scorpio was now, which is part of my generation. Pluto in Scorpio was now like, it was kind of like, let's have all of us karmically transform through the power of sex. So now, allow that black woman to have sex with a white man, and that white man to pollinate essentially and have sex with an Indian woman, and that Indian woman to then, you know, have sexual relationships with a Cuban in the Caribbean, and the Caribbean will have sex with a white woman, and the white woman will have sex with a black woman. And this is like what has been happening more so in like Pluto and Scorpio, where we transform through sex itself. We had a death rebirth process. Now the expansion of that was Pluto in Sagittarius, and you know, if you see anybody with Pluto in Sagittarius, the kids born like after like 95, anybody born after 95, I think is like Pluto in Sag, they're now the full expansion of that, right? Trying to see that and dissolve all of that with the last fire in the zodiac. So what I'm saying, as I ask you to hit the thumbs up, okay, what I'm saying is, this is one of the moments where it's like, this cross-pollination in a sense is happening in wide scale. So now when the female has her walls touched by the penis of a male in the back of that wall, they now activate. And one of the things I had to realize is like, holy crap, like, you know, I feel like there is 5 white women that I can sit there and say that like I had sex with, where now that penis is touching the back of those walls, how much activation, release, surrender, and lives are being reborn that I didn't even live, when it comes to now me having to literally karmically go through this as a I'm Pluto in Scorpio, but in the 12th house, which is like literally full life surrender. Like these, like I'm giving people in a sense, so that we can experience past lives, so that we can, on the collective, begin to try to heal the wounds that slavery, while I'm still a black man, has presented the world. To reverse engineer that sexual energy, I'm, you know, in a more karmic sense, being used like a fucking douche. That is terrible. It's annoying. It sucks. It's like, what? They don't teach you this shit. Nobody teaches you this shit. And now imagine what that means and what that feels like. Because now that's all the unconscious realities and the subconscious programs from my ancestors who may be black, and then that next woman's ancestors who may be white. They're now banging, and I'm Scorpio 12th house, so I get to hear and I get to see all that shit. That is going to count any race, no matter if it was Brazilian, no matter if it was fucking another black person, no matter if it was an Asian, no matter what it was. No matter what it was, that's now me, or anybody, quite frankly, who are touching the walls of anything foreign from itself, activating the past lives that your ancestors have had and linked together. Now, it's only something like you don't need to know every third person to know somebody, right? So it's like you touch your ancestors' wall and their ancestors, guess what? That's in your own human life, you as an individual. That's not your soul existence. That's not your spirit. And that spirit has interacted with, God knows, basically everybody, because everybody is you, and you are everybody, right? It's like one for one. I'm gonna try to get into these chats and see what y'all saying. I had to really just come out here on the ooh-wee. Let me check your chat, so I can try to get back on board with what the people need today. All right. You're an eternal being. Thank you. You have so much in your prickle finger. No one can mess with you. Sing it now. Side note, what the F was the purpose of Vibrat and her wife literally holding hands the whole time while they're walking, locked up at arms? The whole show. I have no idea who Ibrat is or this show. I'm bad with TV shows. I like watching anime. Anime reminds me more of my magical self. I feel like it's really it's my escape from reality, because sometimes when I hear people talk and I realize what people complain about, sometimes it just bothers the hell out of me. It's just like, this is just so stupid. Sometimes I annoy myself with what I complain about, and I'm like, ugh, it makes me so sick. I'm over here like I've conquered kingdoms, and this is what's bothering me. It's annoying. Even this whole black talk, it bothers me. It bothers me that it bothers me. All right, let me see what's up with the chats. I missed a lot, it looks like. What's good, fam? What's up, Jazz? How you doing? Landed. The Confederate flag. Oh, Jamie, what's going on? Maybe, am I missing something? That would be me. We'll make you a dinner and get you some, yes. Thank you. Be nice to have a dinner made. They brought groups of slaves. Oh, okay, I saw some of that. White is not about the color. It's about the status. Like a Hindustan, aka India. Secret, it might have to get you on the live. So come here and talk that talk, because I know you love to talk that talk. So this would be a good talk. I was wondering who can I have this talk with, and I might do it more structured to have this talk. Thank you all for your thumbs up. I'm just reading your comments in the meanwhile. Maybe you straight in the pocket. Did someone miss the memo about the... No, I've seen some of this. I'm lost. You're outstanding. Great. Can't have that. The Holy Present rolling love by me. Yeah, they fear the off with your heads. Man, off with your head day for real. What's up, Leo lover? I haven't seen you in a little while. It's good to see you. I feel like I'm reading the same comments. I know it. Why are all the women being so damn hard and all the guys with tight jeans and pink hair? Off topic, but it's connected. It is connected. It is connected. You know, the fact that Secret was right with the connection between, I really want to say women being so hard. It's like, you have to understand, why are you so hard? As women, like, what has made you so hard? At what point did you become this hard, independent rock who forsaken love, who's forsaken, you know, interdependence, which is a healthy thing, right? To be interdependent with somebody, where, you know, this expectation and shift of blame and shift of guilt almost has been placed on men in a lot of ways, when in reality, divine masculine energy is like, they are not here to focus on the love story. They're not here to focus on, myself included, I'm not here to focus on the fantasy that a woman wants to live out. Now, whatever ways in which I provide for that, it's not my job, in a sense, to dictate the narrative of what the fantasy is supposed to be like, out living in, you know, Disneyland and a love story. That's the woman's job. While me as a man has to then be focused on, where the fuck are we going, right? What is the purpose and the direction of me going in that exact route, taking that route? And it's not for me to think about, is my woman on board with that or not? It's actually more for me to sit there and say, and like, this is like a continuous practice in my life, like to get better and better and have the grace in the days in the middle when I'm not the best at it. This is one of the things where it's like, if that woman fits on that ship, then she does, and if she doesn't, then she doesn't. And this is like, from the male side, it's like, this is where we get caught up, and this is a lot of from the stimulation we gain from movies, películas in español. This is a lot of the stuff behind movies that happen, and it's like, men are being trained to basically be little wimps, to always have to chase the girl, to always have to save the girl. And then women are then getting to the point where they want to be saved now, but then when they get saved, they realize like that's exactly basically the type of pussy man that they don't want. So it's like they're asking for something that they don't really want, and then men are falling for that illusion. They're falling for that Jezebel bull crap. And this is a lot of what's happening. So women, again, are what? Choosing to be hard. Why? Because what they didn't realize is they created this prophecy. They created this prophecy, and part of this prophecy is now, look, I need to essentially lie, manipulate psychologically and emotionally the man, because there was this adaptation period of, now you have the opposite end of, men are now raping women, men are taking advantage of women physically, right? And so what's happening on the other end, women are then adapting, like, look, I can't fight against his might and his strength. So let me focus on the psychological and the emotional manipulation so that I can be basically holding the reins while he is sitting there draining his life force. And this is why you see so many men so tired, and then you got women turning back around saying that men ain't shit. Man, get the fuck out my face. Get the fuck out my face. I don't want to talk about it. Yo, when I tell you, like, I'm as a Scorpio rising, I am Mercury in the Libra 12th house. Libra season will come, but this 12th house season, 12th house always takes from you, but it always gives. And it's the beauty about it. And it always gives more than what it takes. It is the place of surrender, but it always gives more than what it takes, especially if you're being a good person. And I have to just keep reminding myself in these days that I'm a good person, that I've done a lot of good in this world, that I've done a lot of good for myself, that I've done in some ways, in a lot of ways, more than what I'm being required to do. And I've been having to really remind myself, well, Virgo is one of the things where, you know, the criticism can overrun. Judgment is the best ability of a Virgo. Judgment, the ability to judge something. But criticism is when it goes out of bounds. And I gotta be honest, it's like, right now I'm in my own personal battle between that line of like judgment and criticism, because it's like, you know, where I can't allow people to play me is when they get to the point where they're feeling uncomfortable and they want to switch the subject and they want to switch the story because they don't understand what it means to be racist against me, the same person that they sit there and shout out loud that they like or that they appreciate, but then their actions are showing, to be honest, and it is hard a little bit. I can't even stunt, because that's the hard part. Like, sometimes the hardest part is me understanding that and knowing that a lot of it is unconscious, but then also separating from that and realizing, look, people only are staying unconscious because they want to, because it's a safe place. It's a safe place to stay stupid. Because as long as you dumb to it, as long as you can have plausible deniability, you become the politician. Plausible deniability. Where you know something clandestine and secretive is happening, but you intentionally didn't want to know the answer. That is intentional arrogance. And that's why, quite frankly, like, as a black male, it's like, I'm a little bit more on the cutthroat side these days. Off with your head. I've dealt with this my whole life. There's no reason I'm going to sit there and deal with it with you to become some kind of experiment, some kind of moment of joy, a moment of excitement, because you want to be included with the drug that you support black people. Oh, you support? Bro, just press subscribe on my channel. It's not even going to cost you nothing. Oh shit, no. He's talking real crap, but I don't want to press that subscribe because then I'm going to have to see the truth. Then I can't focus on plausible deniability anymore because I'm listening. I'm here. I see you. I feel you, actually. And even though I don't understand, I feel you. So I know something's out of balance. I know something is out of alignment. This is relationship trauma pulling up, which is the original message. This is the demons coming out. This is when the demons come out. The demons come out when finally the next person decides, I can't deal with this. When the next person decides, I'm not ready. But then I'm not ready, it gets pushed to later and later and later and later and later. Werewoman. Bro. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. I see 14 votes, thank you. I don't F with people, 50%. I'm on that wave. Middle Earth needs to be heard and worked. Bang. Locked up all the men, leaving the woman vulnerable to the system of fake governance. That's another one. Okay? What's that, 13th Amendment? Is that the 13th Amendment? Let's not even get started there. I was born, literally born, and told off the beginning from birth, son, you got 2 strikes against you. 1, you're black. 2, you're a male. That means you only get 1 strike before you're out of here. And that's how life really worked. As harsh, as much as somebody may not want to fully understand that, that was the simple reality. It's like, yo, I really get to get in trouble once. Do you know what that means for an Aries? I'm a triple Aries. I grew up as a triple Aries. Everything we do to the person outside of us, outside of my skin, everything we do is considered a mistake. Why? Because we did it first. I did it before anybody else was even fucking alive. Let's be real. Y'all want to know why Aries is so fucking suppressed? Because nobody can understand and handle what it means to feel primitive in the skin of an adult, but with the mind, the motor, the emotions, and the awareness of a baby, an infant. Triple Aries. That's the most detrimental thing that can happen to an Aries, is if they think that whatever they do that's new is considered a mistake. So I was born black and a male. That is the basis of relationship trauma, this message. That's the basis of the moment that I sit there and come out and step out and get more and more bold into myself. Thank God to Leo, okay? Thank God to Venus and Leo, asking us within the opposition to the Saturn in Aquarius to go ahead and fight for the people. This is what this particular message is right now for whoever listens. This is a fight for the people. Because there are so many black people that, honest to God, cannot articulate the same message that I'm saying without being overrun by the emotion and the pain and the hurt and the treachery of what the fuck? Why does this suck so much just to be born black? What the hell? Why is life so wired for me to just ignore the fact that there's so much great things about being in my own black skin? I love being black. Being black has shown me how I would not want to be any other race. And yet and still what comes with that is a tremendous amount of adversity. It's annoying. My whole life. Jeez. Let's see what you're saying in the comments. Cancer here. What's up, Holy Energy? Welcome to the channel. Somebody give Cancer, not Cancer, give Holy Energy some love. Throw some drops, drop some hearts. Whoever you are, drop some hearts in the chat. Even if you just vibe with the message, drop some hearts in the chat. Welcome her to the community. I haven't seen your name before. Organic being having matriarchal DNA, mitochondria. I'm an infant Aries sun. Yeah, hold the door. Yeah, and it's almost fun. It's almost more fun to be an infant Aries sun, like in the lower degrees, than in the higher degrees. Because my Aries sun is at 24 degrees. I have no choice. 24 is the degree of surrender, sacrifice, okay? Isolation. Found you on an old video about spirit animals, and I subscribe. I'm starting to love the new content. Absolutely, super dope. I love animals. Animals talk to me the most. I wish I had my animal deck. So here's what I'll do now. Anybody that wants a card pulled, just drop a donation, all right? Understand that these go to my Zoom fees. These go to my Canva fees on the yearly. I just had to up on my Canva. My Zoom is coming up, all right? Quite frankly, it goes to all creativity. If anything, it also will go to a plant, all right? This goes to my living abroad, which is a part of what I needed to do with this whole entire message as a black American dude, to step off the U.S. soil so that I can get, in a sense, enough separation so that I'm not trying to hug the oppressor, okay? I'm not trying to hug the same person oppressing me. You ever break up with somebody and have to, cry on their shoulder? It's like, it doesn't work very well when you break up with somebody and then you have to go cry on their shoulder. It's like, that is the definition of codependency, as well as, narcissism on the other side, as well as like just a whole bunch of trauma. Okay, you're talking about relationship trauma at that point, especially. You're definitely talking about relationship trauma. So anybody that wants to donate, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull some cards, and if you don't, hey, that's okay, that's cool. What are we gonna do anyways? I'm gonna pull a collective card for the people in the chat, for the people in the group. All right, I got my Hermetic tarot deck today, so we're gonna pull some energies. But if you want something personal, all right, this is my Hermetic deck. I actually like the black and white. There's a tremendous amount of detail. It's a lot of telltale energy. Oh wow, look at that, the Blaster Tower in reverse. That's the first thing that I saw coming up. So Scorpio season, okay, Scorpio does really well at seeing the occult, right? Seeing what's hidden, seeing the message behind the message. My daughter is 17 degrees Aries. Está muy bien. That's my landlord. New subscriber. What's up, Sharon? How you doing? Ooh, Sharon, are you from, I don't even want to say, are you from Asia? And if so, can you drop where you're from? Everybody drop your city. Drop where you're checking in from. What city are you in, whether you're in the US, Asia, Mexico? Drop your city. Show some love. All right, so here's the, here's the energy that we got just for the reading right now. All right, thank you, Michael, for gratitude. Okay, here we go. California, gang. North Carolina, gang. I'm currently in Guadalajara, Mexico. Mexico. Bakersville. Welcome, Michael. Nice to see you. Shout out to you. So like I said, in Alabama, what's up? So I said, I'm getting ready to pull some cards. If you want a personal one, drop a donation. It doesn't even matter if it's 50 cents, quite frankly. And I'm going to read a message for you. I'm going to channel a message. I've learned the different spiritual powers of each and every zodiac sign. For Leo, believe it or not, and I was actually a little bit surprised on this, but it made sense. Leo is the channel. Leo's spiritual power, psychic power, is channeling. And I thought that was pretty impressive. I do thank y'all for the thumbs up. I appreciate y'all. Leo's power is channeling. And I thought it was great. Pisces, astral projection. Aries is pyrokinesis. All right, 444. We're building something major here. We're building something critical. All right, grand. Love it. I love your sweetness. Gang, shout out to you, Echoes. All right, so like I said, anybody that wants a reading, just go ahead, drop a donation, drop a question, all right, that you have for yourself, something personal, because I was called to come on here. I do feel like, as much as I need to come on here for myself to have that expression, I do feel like somebody else was supposed to hear something specific. I don't know if you already heard it. I don't know if it's something that's specific that needs to happen for you. But what I'll say is, if you know you feel that call, drop a donation. I'm going to pull some cards for you and get real personal and channel this message. My Jupiter is in Leo in the 9th house. So I literally learned that the spiritual powers of Leo is to channel. All right. So I'm going to do that. Now, for starters, the energy of this message that we have is actually Mercury in Aquarius. We have the 6 of Swords. Hey, what's up? Kuar. Nice to see you. Thank y'all all for those thumbs up and those likes. The first thing we have is 6 of Swords. You see this when I get when my husband and I reconcile. I can definitely pull a card for you. Like I said, Kuar, all you got to do, drop a donation, and that pull comes to you specifically. Otherwise, this is for the collective. I do have 2 cards for the collective, that everybody in this message. But if you want that about your husband specifically, I got to shift my energy and then bring it to that. But all you gotta do is donate. You could do it right through here. If not, in my chat, you have Cash App. If you're in the US, you have PayPal. It might take taxes, but it is what it is. You got my Zelle, okay? Whatever it is. Like I said, whether it's 50 cents, whether it's $15, don't matter. These things that help me actually, one, keep up and run YouTube full time in all sincerity, because like I'm a full-time YouTuber, it's the reality. But 2, to pay for my Zoom calls for the groups and the charity events that I run, right? For my Canva, for the flyers, the flyer that made you even click this photo, click to get on here, the fact that the demons are rising. And that's all you got, a 6 of Swords. 6 of Swords are always conflict. We understand that, right? It's one of the simplicities. Notice this man or woman, but we're gonna call it a man, is holding these swords. But he holds them with a sense of duty. And that's the fact that you have Aquarius in this card. So right now it's like you're gonna have some tough cutting conversations that are helping you to come out of the conflict, but it may feel like conflict no matter what. And at the end of the day, it's helping you to, you're having to have a conversation with somebody else. And this conversation you have coming on with somebody else, each of you have your own version of creativity, and each of you have your own expression. And that's why you have the 3 swords and the 3 swords. So it takes 2, right? So once you're talking 6, the 6s are dealing with other people. So it's like, when you talk to other people, be mindful of how cut off, how detached you might be during this time frame, how detached you might be, where it just seems too cold, it seems too cut off, you're too robotic, you're too much like a man who almost like a man who is fed up. Okay, one of the things I had to remember lately is, like, you ever seen a man who doesn't feel appreciated in a relationship. Now, let's say he's doing well, but his woman is always just getting on him, always nagging him, always saying he's not doing good enough, always saying he's not man enough, whatever that is. It's like, that's the kind of energy I'm getting right here, where it's like a man who feels like that eventually will become very silent. He eventually will just stop talking. He will eventually just recluse himself, because his main drive, a masculine energy, is survival. So a man that needs to just survive, he will try to survive the hell that's being placed upon him. This emotional and psychological projection. I talked a little bit about this earlier, because women in general are stronger. They are more adept. Okay, they understand how to emotionally manipulate a man without a man never ever knowing. You know, especially if that male is giving up his nut, if he's actually ejaculating, especially in the sex, and the woman actually tamed him, because this is how she biologically understands it. Like, when a woman makes a man nut and the man now feels weak and tired for the next 2-3 days, especially if he's doing it more than once, especially if he's masturbating on his own and he's doing it even more, she now has access to all of his spirit, to all of his soul, and his testosterone is gone. So I want a message right there. This energy is asking for both of y'all to be involved, to recognize that a certain clear-cut communication will have to come through, but you're going to have to make a sacrifice somewhere with another person. You're going to have to sacrifice certain parts of your ego, because Aquarius has a really fat-ass ego, right? Aquarius has a huge ego. In many ways, I feel like the ego of Aquarius is bigger than Leo, primarily because Aquarius' ego is basically like lost in the dark. Leo's ego was loud, so it feels more naturally narcissistic, right? So you confuse the ego of Leo with narcissism and extrovert narcissism and thinking that they're better than everybody else. But the reality is, Leo is better than a lot of you mother lovers. And that's just a simple reality. Leo is better than a lot of you mother lovers. So it's like, it will come from there. But Aquarius is the opposite. It's the shadow of Leo. So it has that same level of ego. And this is Saturn in Aquarius begging off. It has the same level of ego, where it will recognize you holding your cards and they holding their cards, and y'all watch out for communication when y'all both just don't communicate. Because by not doing so, this is the important part about Aquarius. Aquarius needs to actually talk to other people. The only way that Aquarius can understand his feelings and his emotions and what it's actually even thinking with clarity is to involve itself with other people. And this is the karmic curse to Aquarius. Aquarius has to talk to other people because it has so much intelligence, has so much knowledge, it has such a fat ass ego that is bound by karma, is bound by responsibilities and duties of Saturn to talk in order for you to earn your success. And that's why this says at the bottom, actually this sort of says Lord of earned success. Earned. Saturn only gives you what you earned. Saturn only gives you what you earn. It doesn't give you any more. It doesn't give you any less. So that's step one. Have this communication with a partner. Stop being so fucking stubborn. And realize that in order for you to create this next brilliant idea, this next brilliant plan, what you're going to need is to realize that you can't hold on as tight as the next person holding on, waiting for the next person to hold on, and you're in every relationship and everybody's waiting for everybody to start expressing, to start creating, and to start telling the truth. So the more Aquarius you have in your chart, I'm imagining the more you have to be the one to really start speaking up, because otherwise you're going to stay trapped and you're never going to understand. You're going to just say, I don't understand, I don't understand, I don't understand, I don't understand. When in reality, Aquarius is everything about I know. And that's why we got this follow-up energy. Let the gas out. Gas. Echo is called. The Echolists be channeling it with me, I swear to God. That's why you got the 10 of Wands. So this is saying, like, you know, these are the end of conflicts. This is the Lord of oppression. But it's really not a good card, right? It's like you got Saturn in Sagittarius. So the thing about Saturn in Sag is Sag likes to be free and autonomous, and Saturn doesn't really allow that. Saturn doesn't grant that. So it's saying that you really got to find and hold on to a faith. You got to really find and hold on to a belief. While you are addressing your oppressors in this moon in Scorpio, while the moon in Scorpio is going directly over 18 degrees of Uranus in Taurus, all right? This is rapid acceleration, rapid innovation, rapid freedom, radical freedom, all right? Because Uranus wants to free people, all right? That's the energy of Aquarius. It wants to free you. So this is rapid freedom. We just taught Aquarius over here. Look, with the Six of Swords, that's Aquarius. So this is saying, look, like, rise up out of the dark narrative, rise up out of the dark, rise up out of the trauma, rise up out of the pain, let it go. Sagittarius is where it officially has already let go. It's when it starts finding optimism. And what was once traumatic with the moon in Scorpio, once traumatic that it rose up over the South Node in Scorpio, which is everything I just shared today. It was my own personal expression, but it was the expression, right? You apply it to your own life. This fiery energy is saying like you coming to an end with it, all right? You're soon not to be any more oppressed, but that also means that you got to start over. You got to start over a little bit with the vision, start over with the willpower, start over with the ambition, all right? And realize that you're coming back up from hell. You're coming out of hell right now. So I got to urinate again. So unless anybody bops that urination and I'm pulling something personal for you, then I go, because I have to urinate. I will be starting up some membership soon where I'm going to be doing private things on the back end. I am looking at doing YouTube memberships. I had the offer like 4 months ago, but I never got into it, to be honest. Prepping for Saggy season. Sag season will be monster. It's a fat ass square coming in with Venus and Sagittarius later. Really, there are so many collective feeling less or lacking a partner. I show up for that doesn't mean calling. Even you're sure, you're black, welcome. Bang, bang, bang. You got that Kundalini energy rising. Yep. Cool. Really are. I understand that I just recently found out that the jealousy and envy are two different things. Yeah, they are. I would love to do it. I'm going to say, hit one last time, hit this like, hit the thumbs up. I got to urinate tremendously. So I'm going to go ahead and go do that because I got to do it. Yeah, bladder's going boom, boom, boom. It's calling me. I'm on this rooftop. So I'll see you soon. I love you. I'm going to say I appreciate you. Ciao.